Most definitely.
Yeah, it's now time for Trending Now with Olamide Odekunle.
Good morning, Etoma. Good morning, Ibrahim. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Good morning, Olamide. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you.
I was thinking probably you would oversleep.
It's a boys' club up there, but I'm happy to bless you guys with my family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to our
my
midst.
good stories.
Now we have the software.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I'll take it away.
That's right.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the street. And if it's trending, we are definitely going to attempt to dissect it on here. In our first story, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the planning committee for the National Youth Conference, highlighting the crucial role of young Nigerians in shaping the country's future. Now, speaking at the council chambers of the State House in Abuja on Monday, the president reaffirmed his administration's commitment to empowering the youth and curbing migration by creating opportunities at home. He also emphasized that recent policies are geared towards ensuring that young professionals can thrive here at home within Nigeria. He says, "We are the hope of the Nigerian future." Take a look. I'm going to take a look at social media. Wisdom says, "Mr. President, the young people of Nigeria are fleeing the country in droves because of unfavorable economic policies. That they are running away from their fatherland, whose economy they hold in their hands, is a sad development that should give every leader a serious concern." That is how you share your concerns respectively. Respectfully. Akere Ejo says, "Politics is not just about jumping from one party to another or building alliances. It is about winning the hearts of citizens by fulfilling their wishes. Through this National Youth Conference, the president is placing the destiny of Nigerian youth in their own hands." I love that our president is looking at the Nigerian youth and seeing the important role we have to play in national development. But I trust and I hope that this will move from a symbolic and great gesture to actual tangible policies, like creating an effective and safe place for youth to participate in politics properly. Moving on now in our next story, the popular Nigerian actor and activist, Mr. Macaroni, isn't backing down on his reluctance to greet the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at a recent public event. After facing backlash online, the comedian took to X on Monday to make one thing clear: he has no regrets. In fact, he says that if given another chance, he would do the same thing. Known for his strong stance on online activism, this is not a surprise. He also called out what he sees as hypocrisy in Nigeria and claims that some of his critics publicly condemn politicians but privately seek favors from them. His refusal to greet the governor leaves me with just one question: should personal grievances override basic courtesy and our culture of respect? He probably thinks that this is a symbolic move and he's telling us that he doesn't fraternize with politicians. But even in political debates across the world, you know, when these candidates are about to tear each other apart, they maintain a culture of decency, of greeting one another, of shaking hands. Even in sports, you see people that are about to rip each other apart in the ring. They shake hands before, and these are not people who are even influenced by African culture. Talk more us. But let's take a look at social media. This is what he tweeted, by the way. He says, "This is the last time I will address this matter. It is not worth my peace of mind. Since you people won't stop attacking me because I didn't greet Governor Sanwo-Olu, next time I see him, I still won't greet him. And this time, even if he calls for me, I won't answer. You people will cry today, tomorrow, and forever." Yeesh. And let me see what you guys personally are saying about this. Bubble says, "Greeting someone is a personal decision and no one should be forced or shamed into it, but there is certain etiquette when we are in public places with one another. I believe that we owe each other civility." And Dino says, "The moment everyone realizes that the politicians are there to serve them and not to oppress them, they will understand what taxpayers' money means." Like I said earlier on, Etoma and Ibrahim, we should maintain a culture of civility in this country, don't you think? And I think some might argue that if he really is an activist like he says, it would be great for him to get in talks in tandem with government as opposed to being this brute in public.
Well, activism is seen from both two ways, where you engage actively with the people you're fighting and when you're fighting them dirty. I think he chose to fight dirty. Yes, it might be his prerogative, but we're in Africa. Apart from the governor being the governor of Lagos State, is older than him, so I mean, he would have been shown a little bit of courtesy. That's my take.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's Africa, not just Africa, it's the Southwest where respect is very, very key. Especially if you look at behavioral topics where they talk about automatic thinking, social thinking, just the way some people behave. I mean, the way the culture is, you're expected to also follow suit. But if he decides not to greet the governor, it's his own prerogative. Nobody should criticize him for that, but you can have your own opinion about what he has done. If he's protesting about certain thing, it's within his right. But the thing is, who are we talking about? This same comedian that objectifies women. You know, personally, I criticize his kind of skits. Well, that's not what we're discussing, but, you know, personally, I'm not even his fan when it comes to, you know, objectifying women. Take that out of him, then what else does he do? So why are we wasting our time over him? Kudos to the president, you know, for recognizing the youth. I will always say that, you know, what he's saying that Nigeria we should be able to have our own food self-sufficiency or food security or sovereignty, which is very, very key. I would say again, give the young a chance, lead them in the dance so that you change the circumstances.
But I'm curious, Toma, as somebody who is widely read and you've watched, you know, generations of young people, so you're a father yourself, what do you think young Nigerians in this moment, in your opinion, need the most?
They just need recognition. Young people are very
seen.
Yes, they need to be seen, they need to be heard. You know, they are very intelligent, they are very mobile, and with all that youthful exuberance and strength that they are underutilized. I think they just want to be heard and recognized, they want to be seen, and they want to be given responsibilities. Youth needs, they have this burning desire to show that, look, we can do this if you give us a chance. That's right.
I believe that we are in a very, very pivotal time in Nigeria, and to harness the power of the youth would be great. But I greet you both respectfully. Moving on now, in our next story, the popular Nigerian prophet, Chukwuemeka Cyril Ohanamere, widely known as Odumeje or Indaboski, has announced his intention to contest the 2027 presidential election. Now, in a viral video, the founder of the Mountain of Holy Ghost Intervention and Deliverance Ministry declared his ambition during a church sermon, emphasizing the need for a young and tech-savvy leadership in Nigeria. However, he has not disclosed details about his political party affiliation or any sort of tangible campaign strategy. I will say that this is absolutely hilarious. We have serious coalition governments right now taking place. People are defecting. People are creating coalitions and strategic alliances against 2027. And here you have this man on one side of the country declaring his ambition, thinking that the political landscape is a thing to be played with. But let me hear what you guys have to say. Sorry, let's take a look at what he has to say.
We need a young leader in this country. And I think I'm coming out. We need a young leader in this country as a president, a digital leader.
A digital leader. I'm going to take a look at social media. Guys, this is hilarious. Sunday says, Indaboski for president, this election cycle just got more interesting. This is absolutely hilarious. I wonder if he's going to use miracles and his power of Indaboski to actually make the country better or put tangible policies in place. But before I move on to my co-anchors, I'd like to ask you guys to please chime in on the conversation. Do you think you have an interesting perspective you'd like to share with us? Please tag us with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise you that we are listening. Indaboski for president, guys, where do we even begin to dissect this conversation?
Oh, Indaboski for president. What? Just think about it. Just think about it. That will be. Well, for the first time, I'm lost for
He's
words. So
speechless.
maybe Brian will help me out. I mean, Indaboski for president.
Well, I think we just need to do the reality check. Is Indaboski Nigerian? Does he carry the Nigerian passport or Nigerian, what do we call it? Is he a citizen? Yes, he is. Does he have the right under the constitution to contest for president? Yes, it does. So if we check all of those things, does he have any criminal charges against him that would bar him from contesting? If he doesn't have, so why do we have to worry about it?
And I know it's not the same thing. I know it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But the first time that Trump announced his presidency and
Yeah.
ambitions, we all laughed.
Yes, I was going there.
It's not the same thing, but we found it comical.
Right. There are so many unusual presidents in the world. You just mentioned Trump. He was just a businessman. He was just always playing all around, and they say he doesn't have that political background. We also have one who is also facing one of the biggest, world superpowers in the country. I mean, in the world, Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, who is a comedian and TV host. I mean, he was, I would say. So, and he's doing, so many things. Idi Amin, even though he had that military background, he didn't have much, educational background, but he became one of the, brutal dictators that we ever recorded in history. Yeah. I can continue mentioning all of them. So many people who...
Yeah, that may be true. That may be true. But for Indaboski to run for president, a whole lot of Nigerians won't take him seriously.
Don't you want escapism?
And
wait, everyone can be serious.
I don't want miracles. I want tangible policy.
No, he didn't say he's going to perform miracles. Certainly, because he's going to be working with two other arms of government, legislative arm of government and that of judiciary. So he won't be performing miracle. Yes, maybe Nigeria actually needs miracle at this point in time.
But to have those thought processes, of things like that, I don't think he's a candidate at all.
Probably...
And I hate that I've made you guys discuss this, but I'm going to move on
No, maybe he has a Midas touch.
In our final story in international news, in a new twist on immigration policy, the Trump administration is now using a government app that was originally meant to help asylum seekers book appointments as a way for undocumented migrants to self-deport. Now, the app called CPB Home lets migrants submit an intent to depart, which officials say could help them leave the country without facing harsher consequences like arrest or future re-entry bans. Basically, it's a way to get people to leave on their own instead of being forcibly deported, and this is just the latest move in the White House's ongoing crackdown on immigration. I will say that the Homeland Security Secretary has said that this is a humane way to get deportees out of the country. She says if you're an illegal immigrant and you know this and you leave the country, you still have a chance in a future date of coming back into the country legally and living the American dream. They also, this app will also prioritize the welfare of illegal immigrants. They will help them get resources back home and kind of take care of them. So Trump is saying, report yourself before I report you. If you don't deport yourself, I will find you because we have you in our database, hopefully, and you'll be sent back. But I'm going to have time for one tweet. Let's take a look at that. Sovereign Stack says, this is brilliant. Let them self-deport. Save taxpayer money and free up ICE to focus on criminals. Win, win, win. Democrats wanted an app to help illegals get in. Trump turned it into an app to help them get out. You love to see it. Illegal immigration isn't complicated. Simply enforce the law, shut down the border, and make it easy for them to leave. Problem solved. I will say that, Trump has taken a very hardline stance on immigration. And this is a more empathetic and humane approach, don't you think, to allow people to take accountability for their own immigration status.
Yeah, so I think the issue of immigration, no country should allow anyone to illegally migrate to their countries, because even Nigeria deports a whole lot of people out of the country. Obama administration deported so many. Biden administration in the last 1 year, before Trump took over, deported so many people. In fact, he had even done more than what Trump is, talking about. It's just that Trump is, one way or the other, speaks louder than most of his actions. So I guess it's because he's talking more about it. That's why it's an issue. The advice I would also give to people who are illegally immigrated to the US is that they should evict themselves out of the country so that they will have the opportunity to go back to the country, especially when it comes to migrating legally. So I do not see any problem in that.
So I'm an illegal immigrant in the United States, and I still want to stay there because I've started a business and the business is doing well and so on, and I go download an app that says, look, I want to get out of the United States. I'm looking at the acceptance. I don't know how well the people will respond to that. Yes, it might be a humane way of doing it as against the arrest and forceful eviction and all that, but will the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, take advantage of this?
But I will say just a fact for you guys. The app was actually also present during the Biden administration, but it was initially, it was originally planned to help them book appointments and to put them into the database. And so some people are arguing that now that Trump actually has the illegal immigrants, their data, he could forcibly deport them. He's just giving them a chance. But that app has always been there. And the data of these illegal immigrants is still in that app. So he's just being nice.
Yeah, so maybe you don't need to use the app, just go out of the country. And it's also a wake-up call to all of the country world leaders, a lot of the world leaders, to ensure that they work on their countries, they work on their citizens, and citizens should also do a whole lot to participate in nation building for their own, motherland. So it's just a wake-up call. I do not see anything wrong with that.
And we saw India step in a little while ago when Trump was first sworn in and put these hard-line immigration policies in place. We saw India step in and say, we're actually coming in to take our people. No need to send them out, no need to put them on a plane. We are coming in and we are taking about 29,000 of our folks. And it'd be great to see more countries do that.
But that's protecting your national pride of what India did. And it's quite commendable. And also quite commendable is the way you handled your segment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olamide. Thank you.
I always have fun
much
with you guys.
All right, my dear. Well, let's tell you that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. That's it on the program today. My name is Etomedu, and thank you